honestly, if you have an obsession with planners like I do and can't buy enough of them, this video is going to be for you. Hello and welcome back to the channel and Vlogmas. As you can see, we are in a completely different location because I have absolutely failed at prepping for Vlogmas, and I have a 12-hour stream today. And so we're at Starbucks and I'm ordering a pizza, and the pizza place is right across the street. So while that is done, I have my coffee and I'm going to film tomorrow's videos, and yeah. So 2019 is almost here, and that means I have new planners, and I have a few. I've done some planner videos in the past. I've done bullet journals, I've done Erin Condren, although I don't think I've ever talked about it on this channel. And now I've been using some different things, and I've gone back to some things to try again. So let's go over things. So first things first, my main planner for this year has been the Hobonichi. It's a Japanese company that you kind of actually can use like a bullet journal, really. And the thing is, I've been using multiples of them in different ways. I used to use their smaller A6 size, but I found that it was too small for me, actually, with my handwriting and, you know, whatever else I was writing out. So I went from the A6 size that was smaller, and I moved to a Hobonichi Techo cousin, and sometimes I find that size to be too big, and then sometimes I find it to be just right. So I have the Techo cousin, and I have a cover to go with this. I also have the weeks, and I'll tell you why. And I'm not going to open these from this package because I want to save it for next year. Thankfully, I actually remembered to bring the one that I'm currently using, so I'm going to use that to show you. But yeah, so here is my current Hobonichi Techo cousin for 2018. This cover is cats, and I don't really need a new cover. Like, this one looks, steering wheel. This one looks just fine, and it's got a little bit of staining on the inside, even with this plastic cover, but it's just fine. However, the reason I did also decide to get another cover is, one, just to have options in case I get bored. It's not like I have a bunch of different covers. I only have these two. But when I travel for work, I was thinking I might want a cover that's a little more professional. Not that this isn't really, like, unprofessional to me. It doesn't really scream childish. I mean, it's neutral colors, and it's just cats, like adults like cats. And honestly, I don't think anybody really cares about what your planner looks like, and it's not like I'm going to shove it in potential clients' faces, but I don't know, I feel fancier when I have, like, this kind of cover. It's not like I have a Pikachu on it. I use this for YouTube stuff, for Twitch, whatever. This is just, like, it's my main schedule. I also use the Google Calendar and whatnot, but I'm someone who just needs even the same task and whatnot in, like, multiple places for some reason. I guess it's also me just trying to find out what works for me and what doesn't. So it looks like this. And I'm not going to get to, like, the fancy goody details. There are actual, like, planner YouTubers that do better. So this is, like, the yearly overview, which I like, but there are some sections that I don't pay attention to. So this has the yearly, the weeks, monthly, and daily. And I think the two things I really don't pay as much attention to are the yearly, even though if you see, I have a lot written, and the weeklies. And I'll get more into that in a second. But, so I got yearly overview, which honestly, this is nice at a glance, so I can make sure if I have any appointments like dental, gynecologist, whatever. And actually, to be quite honest, I really need to update this a little bit. And then you have your monthlies. I love the amount of space in this because what I really like to do, and I will show you right now. Okay, so here's an idea of how I like my monthlies to look. I'm gonna be honest, the only time I really use my monthly pages is for YouTube videos and the titles and what goes with. The downside to doing this is that sometimes I'll end up changing what video goes where, even if it's on a regular upload like Monday, Tuesday, like this is special, this is Vlogmas. So I'll have like Monday on the 3rd was the changing my signing video, so I have the name of that, and then I color code it red for YouTube, right? And then occasionally I also have my Twitch. Occasionally I do my regular appointments, so I got a program that I'm interviewing for, and haircut and whatnot. And now let me see if I can find a decent page of my dailies. Okay, so here's the daily. So on this side, on the left side, you have the timetable. So anything, so like YouTube, time of YouTube, my Twitch or whatever, any appointments go on the left side. And then this side has my notes. So if I gotta do tasks, I have my tasks, so YouTube, write out, Medium, writing stuff, whatever. And sometimes if I'm uploading a video, so say this is a Q&A video that had to be published, next to it on the right side I will write notes. So say I gotta add a card and I can't remember off the top of my head what time the card goes on in the video, I put it on the side so that way I can go back and really, it's just so much easier. Now, like I said, there are 2 sections I don't really pay attention to, and it's the yearly one, but mostly, honestly, the weeks. This is an example of this week, and the reason why I tend to not use it so much in this planner is because it's so skinny. The columns are so skinny, and it's hard for me to, like, if I want to write down my YouTube title, I am someone that hates shortening my titles, even in a planner. Like, I want to write out the whole damn thing. I don't know, I don't really like it. I also hate having to constantly, like, flip back and forth to different sections in a planner. So I wish there was, like, weekly page, and then your everyday page. So you got, like, your monthly page and the weekly page to go with the dailies. I don't know, I'm probably not making any sense. That's why I also got the weeks, which unfortunately I did forget to bring. In that case, let me open this one and show you, because this is my fault. So this is the 2019, and I got the soft cover black. This is not real leather to my knowledge, I double checked. So you got the little weeks, and I like this for a weekly overview. So if I'm doing my daily pages and planning out for the day, instead of having to annoyingly flip back and forth, I can just have this open at the same time. They have monthly pages, but it's really, really tiny. I still occasionally use it. But overall, I find it so tiny that I'm not that impressed. One of the reasons why I do try to use it still is because if I'm traveling locally, or even if I travel, like, out of state for work, and I don't want to bring the heavy planner, and I just need something that has a schedule, I don't need a whole bunch of notes to go with it, this is fine. I could just carry this in my briefcase. But yeah, so that tends to be really tiny. I think there's also a yearly overview, but this is honestly so tiny, I'm never gonna actually use it. It's just, no. And so this is what the weeks look like here. So you have, please focus. It doesn't want to focus on anything but my face. So you have your monthlies, and it's a good chunk of each thing, and then over here you can still write some notes out. So occasionally I do that. What I actually tend to do is I also write my video uploads for the week. And then here I will write, like, to film, and then a list of videos that I want to, or I need to, but I might not get to film. So, video list. Sometimes I might write notes on here and then just bring this with me when I film to make it easier. Really, it's just like, to write this week, to film this week, that type of thing. So, there's that. And then I have one more planner that I have. Last Vlogmas, I talked about the Passion Planner and how I wanted to try that out because it has the word passion in the title. And it says that it's supposed to help you with your projects and whatnot. I used it for about I used it for about a month or 2, and then I trashed it because it wasn't working for me. And so what did I do 1 year after purchasing? Bought another. But I have my reasons for this, okay? And I'm planning on using it a little bit differently and in conjunction or together with this. One of the reasons why I didn't like the Passion Planner is because it relies so much on an hourly schedule. I don't run on an hourly schedule except to upload videos and when I go on Twitch. And if I have a speaking engagement or some other event, which doesn't really come that often, so it just seems so pointless for me to have a Passion Planner. So that's why it originally didn't work for me. However, 2019 is looking to be promising, so I have hope. But also, I really want to try to give this another shot because there are projects that I really like, projects that I really want to focus on, and I'm hoping that if I can find a way to make it work along with my Hobonichis, it might work. So here you have like a little roadmap for your goals, and I'm actually going to make a video about that tomorrow. So, stay tuned for tomorrow. Okay, here's a random page, right? You see, right here, it's all hours, and it goes from 6 o'clock in the morning to 10:30 at night. Every day it has a daily focus, so I focus on one damn thing, which is actually really difficult for me. This week's focus, good things that happen, because I need to remember that sometimes good things do happen. And here's what I do like. You have a personal to-do list and a work to-do list, so it's nice to see that all at once. This kind of has a weekly and a daily all at the same time. So this is, but so you got top priority, a priority, and like random errands to run. So say I need to go to Best Buy and buy something for work. Priority, films and videos. Top priority, film these exact videos, right? Something like that. Or, well, that would be under the work list, not so much the personal one, but you know what I mean. So, and then random note space. And after every month, you have like a little overview, and it asks you questions. And let's see if I can find an actual page. What was the most memorable part of this month? What are the biggest lessons? This is like more of like a mental health reflection sort of thing, I guess. But then it also says, are you happy with how you spent your time and focusing on your priorities, things like that. So, and I'm going to try to give it another shot, because honestly, when I decided after 1 month that, you know, this doesn't work for me, it was during a slow month where I wasn't doing anything. So, but next year, for 2019, at least in March, I know right off the bat, March is going to be a really good month for me in terms of work. So I want to at least try to give this at least 4 months. And that is it for physical planners. There's also stuff like Google Calendar, which I use to track appointments, so that way I get a notification on my phone. And I also keep track of what Patreon stuff goes up, what videos will go up. So if Monday says planner video, it's going to be on Monday, and then on Thursday I might have the goals video. But if I need to, I'll switch them. So it's just easier that way. And then if I have already written down the planner, I just have to cross it out and admit that I failed on that part. But whatever, it's fine. I also use Trello to keep track of tasks. So I will have name a video and a card, and then I have a checklist that says film, edit, thumbnail, captions, publish, sometimes a voiceover if it's a signed video. That way I can actually really keep track, because it's easier than going through the planner sometimes. I have a little bit of a planner problem, to be honest. I feel like the system might be working for me, at least the Hobonichi plus Trello plus Google Calendar. That's working for me because I use it for different things. We will see how the addition of the Passion Planner works out. I think I'm also still just in the phase of me trying to figure out the perfect system for me, and sometimes that requires using multiple things at once. If you are a fellow planner user, let me know in the comments what you use, whether it's just your phone. Some people prefer going digital, and that's fine. For me, I tried that route, but I also have to write things down to remember them. Also, let me know if you are more of a functional planner or a decorative planner. My God. I used to be decorative. When I had the Erin Condren, I used to buy so much stickers, so many stuff. I know it's way too expensive. Now I still have a few, but now I mostly just have pens and a couple of stamps, but I just prefer to use pen now, because I realized that the sticker thing was just way out of my budget to keep up with on a regular basis. And that is absolutely it. As always, I very much appreciate you watching. Now, before you go, if you haven't, consider being a pledge on Patreon, as it is a great way to support your favorite creators' content. From me, you get things like music playlists, written pieces you won't see anywhere else, and pen pal letters if you pledge high enough. And I'll see you later. Bye!